Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I am back. And so is my prolific commenter host himself, Zealeus.
Yo! It is good to see you once again, Charlie. My life has been incomplete for the last week without you in my life. How can I go on? I do not know. I barely made it.
You can go on now because we're doing this recorded session.
What's that? What was the first part?
I said you can go on now because we're doing this hangout.
Oh, yeah, no, my life is complete now. I am a made man. I can make another week of being happy and blissful.
Okay, seriously? It's after Easter.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm drinking, actually, pomegranate cranberry juice.
Oh,
Not
God.
it's because I'm feeling sick.
Oh,
So
God.
I'm trying to load up on the juice and feeling sick so I don't get I'm dead sick. You know what I'm saying, yo?
Okay.
So it's my health drink in the form of cranberry juice. I figure it's probably healthier than drinking beer.
Touche.
I figure it's either drink juice or try to drink it out of my system with beer, and that's probably not a good idea.
You drink it out with alcohol, and then you exercise profusely. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I
Everyone
did
does
one of
that.
those yesterday.
Huh?
I got 1 out of 2. That ain't bad, right?
Yep. All right, Zealeus. Okay, first of all, we want to take a moment of silence for great actor Bob Hoskins, who of course was Mario in the Super Mario Brothers, but he's probably more well known for his other movies. Of course, Hook and Unleashed. Pretty kick-ass movie, if I have to say so
Just because
myself.
nobody saw the original Mario Brothers.
Dude, I saw it. I own it.
How many times have you seen it?
6 or 7 times.
Wow, damn, yo.
Yeah, man.
I think I saw it once when it came out in the theaters. That's about it.
I had the hots for the lead chick, so
Well, that's a great reason to watch it then.
yeah. Yeah.
Means you can start watching the new 24 series when it comes out.
Never started watching 24 in the first place, so probably gonna skip that.
Well, it's because Sarah Walker's in it.
Yes, that definitely increases my chances of seeing that, but you know,
Still probably not a good chance, is what you're saying.
right.
I only watch it because it on Netflix marathoning.
Ah, gotcha.
Like, it's one of those shows that, like, it's definitely a marathon type of show where you can just binge watch it because, it's total. I mean, it's completely serialized.
Right.
But when it's on TV, just one episode a week, I don't know if I'm going to watch it then because it's one of those shows where, like, what happened 3 weeks ago is actually important now, like 3 weeks later.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know what the hell happened 3 weeks in my life, much less a TV show.
Right. I gotcha. Okay, so let's see here. I had an awesome I got to sit down and have lunch with one of the individuals that's working at High Res Studios, and now I could say, because they've revealed it on Twitter and Facebook, Osiris is going to be the next god, and he looks pretty badass. Now, of course, we don't know any of his passives or his actual skills, but from my understanding, it's going to be complicated and very dangerous if you know how to play them.
Good times, good times.
Yes. The other bit of news that broke a little bit earlier this week was that Square Enix is going to have its own kind of Kickstarter platform. It's kind of like Kickstarter and Steam Greenlight had a baby. And Square Enix stole it or adopted it and called it its own, called The Collective. Basically, what you do is you have a game idea and you throw it up there. And for, I think it's like a month or maybe 2 weeks, people who hit that website get to vote on the game concepts. And of course, ones that exceed a specific amount of votes gets to go into the next round. The next round, they get to have Square Enix employees help them try to figure out a budget that will actually work for their game. And then, of course, once that's started, then you do the crowdfunding stuff. Now, I'm sure that I'm not sure. I have a sneaky suspicion that Square Enix is starting like an indie Steam, and they're going to use the collective as a way to do it once they've procured enough.
It's like your games must, there'll be like a clause in the contract. Your games must be on the Square Enix platform, whatever that may be.
Right, exactly. So, well,
which is kind of ironic since they just released Final Fantasy XIV on Steam.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll be kind of curious to see what they intend for Square Enix to do. Like, what does Square Enix get out of this program is what I'll be interested to see. Like, do they get some kind of residuals? Do they get like how does that work out with Steam? I mean, with Square Enix obviously wanting some cut of whatever's going to go on. That's what I'll be kind of interested to see. It's kind of fine print.
Right. I think I'm sure they're going to get some kind of percentage out of it. I just don't know. It's not if it's. I think for hosting the information, they get a minuscule amount of money. It's really the sales. If they create a platform, you're looking at 30% of the sales going straight back to Square Enix.
Well, it'll be interesting to see too on the voting system because we've seen on the internet how easy it is to game voting competitions like that.
Yep.
I mean, you get a website behind you like Reddit or 4chan or Fark or something behind you.
Yep.
And, they could totally just screw with the voting. We saw online with things like Time Magazine and some of the stuff that's made it to the top 10 list is like, huh? Yep. So that'd be my other question is kind of how is that voting system going to be kept, fair?
Right. Yes, I will. The only issue I see to this is since it's a brand new system is how many people they're going to actually have available for voting. I mean,
you have to mail in a paper ballot for it to count.
I mean, the thing is, it's an awesome idea, but where are these people that are going to be watching, are going to be looking at this?
You need like moderators to make sure it's...
Well, right, moderators, but you also need like promoters to actually get people on the site. I mean...
Well, like Square Enix advertising probably anything else, like when they advertise their video games.
Right, and that leads into another question. How much money are they willing to spend on advertising for this system?
Very true.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I fully admit it's going to be interesting, and I hope that it succeeds because independent developers have some phenomenal ideas. It's just really difficult for them to truly break in sometimes. And
the irony of this whole...
What's
sorry.
that? No.
The irony of this whole project is this would, I think, actually be perfect for like an Xbox One or a PS4 because, like, say the Xbox One, right?
Uh-huh.
You sign on. Actually, I never signed on to an Xbox One, so I'm just going to go with 360.
Yep.
And, we're talking about, okay, how is Square Enix going to advertise this, right, and get it out to the people?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the Xbox One, you sign on, and guess what? Microsoft decides some of what's going to go on your homepage.
Right.
So, boom, right there, Microsoft can be like, boom, here you go. We're going to make sure everybody sees this, even if they don't want to. And then, Microsoft, if it's a Microsoft thing where they're doing this with this indie developer, they're automatically tied in to the Microsoft Marketplace then to release it on the Xbox platform.
Right.
So it seems like in a way, the consoles would almost make more sense to do this.
Yeah, about that. Yes, absolutely. It would make more sense because then they could slap you in the face because every single console owner would see that information. I just don't think that anyone. I don't even think the manufacturers have that much faith in the next generation console. I mean, you look at some of these big games that are about to come out. Destiny and what was the other one? Dragon Age Inquisition. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. This would never have happened between the Xbox and the 360 or the PlayStation 2 and this PlayStation 3. We're by the time these games come out, we're a year into the new iteration.
I thought games came out for the PS2 and PS3 simultaneously for quite a while.
Yeah, but those were like, it usually came out on the new console first, and then they're like, well, we're going to dumb it down for those people
Gotcha.
that have the old console. No, they're being simultaneously released because they know that they've got to make their profit.
Because most
It's
people still have a 360 or PS3.
not so
I mean,
many
that's
people have an
valid.
Xbox One or a PlayStation 4.
I mean, really, what reason does a gamer have to actually upgrade to a new console at this point? That is
Uh,
a blank stare.
hmm.
Hmm.
The
Indeed.
Kinect is more precise.
Yes, it will know my arm actions from my couch now.
No,
It will no longer pick up rows running across my groove.
I'd probably still pick up pros.
She'll be even more interactive than she'll be like, woo, look at me, look at
Yeah,
me.
more precision points.
Nice. Uh, yeah, no, I mean, I think but that's kind of the cool thing that you're seeing. And I just saw it in Lansing the other day where PC gaming sales now surpass the console sales
Yep,
again.
yep,
And I think it's because of things like, Steam Greenlight and
yep.
things like Kickstarter. I mean, obviously that's just a small chunk of the overall picture, but it's just kind of a sign of what you're seeing in the PC, where it's almost a return to the PC gaming marketplace is what we're seeing.
Right, right.
And I think it's because from a developer standpoint, there's more opportunities to get your game out there, is what it seems like.
Well, yes, you definitely have more opportunities. You have several different ways of getting your game out there. But the other thing is, you're not having to pay for a dev kit and then a licensing fee to put your game on these different systems.
So if
On
you're
a,
an indie developer, it's much cheaper to make it on the PC than a
yep,
console.
yep,
You don't have a gatekeeper.
right. And I know a lot of independent developers are utilizing the Unity engine,
Hmm.
and you got to buy special licenses to make Unity games for the next generation consoles. Where the PC, I think, is you can basically do most of what the Unity engine can do on the PC for free. So
Interesting.
that's huge because you're taking out the graphics engine
Yep.
costs because unless you want to build something from the ground up, and that's still expensive. I mean, when you're basically fighting to survive every single day, yeah, sure, it'd be fun to have it on a console, but at the end of the day, I know this isn't a good example because this is a wireless controller, but if it was wired, you know, plug it right in, and then you can build the controls in that way. I mean, yes, the thing is with the PC, the the entry point is much lower. So there's going to be a lot more crap on the PC than on the consoles. But at the same time, you've got these different your Kickstarter, Indiegogo, now the Collective, Steam Greenlight. Um, there's another one that's oh shoot. There's one that's like an anti-Greenlight place that you can go to as well, because a lot of games get buried on Greenlight. Um,
But it's kind of like you're saying, to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, so
yeah,
you can really see what's better out there, and look at it for yourself. Whereas you look, I know we've kind of give the iOS ecosystem crap sometimes about their. It's hard to find good games in there sometimes.
closed garden. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well yeah. Okay, so well the thing is, one of the biggest hurdles for a developer to get over is a bad marketplace, and the Apple App Store is one of the worst. It
Unless
is
you're Apple.
unless you're Apple, and then you could finagle your way. And I'm sure that if you give them like some money, you can make sure your game gets uber promoted, kind of like when you pay a little extra to boost your Facebook
It's almost like gambling. Like
stuff.
if you're like an iOS developer,
Yeah,
it's almost like I picture it almost as like a gamble.
yeah,
It's like I can make this game for $100, and I might be the next Floppy Birds
yep.
and make millions off of this. I might be the next Angry Birds and make tens of millions of dollars.
Hmm.
It's almost like a matter of luck, and just making it to that top of those charts, because that's myself included. That most games I just kind of look at the top 10 or 20 sales. Or you know what I mean. And I think that's
Right.
probably the majority of people. They're just kind of, what's at the top of the charts, and I'm not going to really dig much deeper than that.
There's only two ways that people pick up games. Either they heard about it or it's at the top of the charts. They're not
Yep.
going to go through 20 pages to find your game. Because they'll have already found a game that sounds cool before they get to yours.
Versus Steam, which does its bleeping. I'm trying to hard not to cuss too much. Summer sales, winter sales, Christmas sales,
Well,
New
right,
Year's Eve sales,
but
Easter sales.
okay, right. But the thing is, when you're looking at a Steam game, when you're an independent developer who has never really released, you got to go through the Project Greenlight thing and whatever, and so that kind of slows down the crud that comes in. And they also have several different tabs you can look at. You can do new releases, which shows you a butt ton of new releases. The high grossing games, the most popular games, blah 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 blah. They have a more sophisticated marketplace than some. The 360 marketplace is a fucking disaster. I mean, unless you know what game you're looking for before you go in, chances are you're never going to find it.
Yep.
So that's why you got to go to Alter Confusion, read up on all those cool games that if they're independently developed now, because we're doing almost exclusively indie developed games or indie games that Alter Confusion gets their hands on. Which reminds me, I need to write up Warlocks 2. I know I've been neglecting that. I did write up Mobius Empire Rising.
It does amaze me that this far into the online generation of consoles
Yep.
and devices that they can't make a better online marketplace for games that's more user friendly. It just boggles my mind that they're all pretty terrible. I just don't get it.
Look, it took us how long to actually, for at least one company, or no, two companies out of the hundreds of companies that have online games to have a matchmaking system that actually makes sense. I mean, dear Jesus.
It's not right, man.
I know.
It's not right.
I know. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. There was something else I wanted to talk about real quick. Oh, okay. So speaking of platforms, one of the platforms that you can develop your games for, play games on, is called the Ouya. This is the Ouya right here.
It's a box. I
haven't plugged it in my TV yet because I just moved back down to the basement. So you're in luck because you get to actually see how small this Ouya is. I mean, it's like here's my iPhone for comparison. Okay, and it's literally, it's.
So what you're saying is I can bring an Ouya to work and plug it on my monitor. It's one of the inputs. When I see somebody walk in, I just change the input on the monitor.
Yeah.
I don't even know I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, so anyways, one of the games that Ouya said helped kickstart them into stardom and get them recognized is a game called Towerfall. Yeah, which is basically a 2D kind of like Smash Brother-esque type of game. 4439. Damn it. Sorry. That makes no sense to anyone but me and probably
basketball game.
Yeah. So Towerfall came out. It was a fun game. A lot of people picked it up. I didn't really pick it up because it is simply straightforwardly a multiplayer game, and I was looking for single player games on the thing. Now, of course, Ouya is going, yeah, we helped kickstart him into stardom. Now Towerfall is everywhere. It's on, I think it's on the Vita, whoever the fuck has a Vita, PlayStation 4, whatever. It's on a bunch of different things. When you actually break down how many units they sold, because the Towerfall is the #1 selling game on the Ouya, okay? What do you think their total sales of units sold? So how many people have actually bought Towerfall? Zealeus, what do you think the answer is?
60,000.
Are you playing with a laser pointer?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Rose is going insane.
60,000. If they were so lucky, they sold 7,000. That's the top selling game.
That's not many, yo.
No. And of course, Ouya's like, well, this is where you could get your big break. No, it's not. It's not. It might have been your big break when the Ouya first came out, but now that the Ouya's been out.
So how much does Towerfall sell for?
I think it's $5.99.
So 7 times 6. I mean, we're talking $49,000.
Let me see. Shut up! Shut up, Avast. Let me see if I can find a price tag for you. Towerfall, there it is. Apparently I can't. Oh, I thought I could buy it off the. Oh, here we go. Shop. Please wait while the shop loads. Oh, whoa.
Yo.
You could get colored faceplates.
Yay.
Whatever. Or you get the Ouya hoodie.
Ooh, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
So either way, it's not. It did not sell a whole lot of units.
No, definitely not. No.
So it's almost kind of like, what incentive do you have to make the game for the Ouya if it's not selling units anyways?
Right. Absolutely. It's on Steam and PlayStation 4.
Oh.
And on Steam, it is $15. But this is like, I think it's a prettier version. No, it's basically the same thing. But this is like I guess a sequel to it, maybe. Whatever. Anyways, so there you go. You're not going to make it big on the Ouya. Ouya is just an extra device. I think, fortunately or unfortunately, what the Ouya has basically become for developers out there is another Android marketplace that they can port their game to, which from my understanding isn't that different from all the other Android marketplaces, so you can get a little extra cash. But it's definitely not a platform that you alone can make all your money. Now, from my understanding, Towerfall on the PlayStation 4, I believe, has made some insane amount of money. There it is. $500,000.
Ooh, not too shabby.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, I got a piece of news for you that might ring a bell with you.
Okay.
Do you still play Defiance at all?
No.
Today, Trial Worlds announced that it is going free to play in July.
Wait, what?
Defiance is going free to play in July.
Defiance has always been free to play.
No, you had to buy the actual digital version.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't have a subscription.
Right. That's okay. Yeah. Okay.
I know. It's like, wait, an online game that doesn't have a subscription? What? Yeah, you had to buy it. But if you already bought the box version or electronic copy, whatever you're going to call it,
yep,
you get a whole lot of goodies for free, like all the character slots and loadouts and inventory slots. Whereas basically free-to-play players get really gimped, like half the loadouts, half the inventory slots.
Right.
It's a whole lot of pain in the assness.
Right. Interesting. Interesting.
Obviously, they trying to get gamers to come in and play for Defiance Season 2.
Indeed.
Since that starts in May, I think, which we are in now.
I think it's in June, isn't it?
4th of June.
Let's see. I thought it was like June.
I've seen enough advertisements for it lately.
I know. They're really starting to ramp it up.
Well, Warehouse 13 started.
I know.
Have you not seen it?
I have. I'm so sad about it.
Why? Because it's the last season?
It's the last season.
I know, it's terrible.
June 19th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I know. It's a terrible world, man.
I know.
Canceling it.
Well, the sad reality is that TV shows on Sci-Fi, which is owned by Universal, which is owned by NBC, which is owned by Comcast, they only allow 5 seasons on the Sci-Fi channel. So, if you're lucky enough to get all 5 seasons, kudos to you. Majority of the TV shows never make it that far. Eureka made it. Warehouse 13's made it. Haven, they're currently creating the 5th and final season, which I'm pissed about. Um, Defiance is at number 2. I think Continuum is number 3. Lost Girl might be in their 4th.
I think it was just the fourth season.
Yeah, so Lost Girl's almost done too.
I wonder if it'll make any difference though, because a lot of those are actually made by the Canadian company.
No, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
almost all those are made by the Canadian company.
It still doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's the Comcast. Whatever the contract is, you're gonna run that course, and then you done.
Which is sad because some of these shows, like this is like the last season of Warehouse 13 was my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like it's starting to get even better than before, and they're gonna axe it now. It's like really.
Yep.
Like I understand some seasons, you get to season 5, it's like okay, you've had enough. But I don't think this is the case.
Then you look at a TV show like CSI. Just let it die. I mean, swear to God, just let it die. It's like, oh yeah, this guy quit, so we're gonna do this new twist now. Ha ha! We're gonna keep CSI alive.
It's gonna be a twist of the old twist, but we're gonna twist it the other way.
I do find it ironic that the 2 spin-offs died, and yet the original still it's still going. That's very, I don't know. Does that happen often where the original, I know like usually you have spin-offs when the original is done.
True, but I think the difference with CSI, it was still CSI. Whereas a lot of spin-offs, like I forgot what NCIS came from.
Oh, it's oh my God, it's that Navy SEAL fuck, it's JAG. That's what it is, JAG.
But like it wasn't NCIS, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely.
Like it was JAG, and then you had NCIS. It was like 2 different shows.
Yep.
Whereas like NCIS and NCIS LA, they're both NCIS.
Right. Well, it's kind of like Cheers and then Frasier.
Yeah.
Now, I know, like, this generation is like, you just name 2 TV shows, I have no idea what you're talking about. Cheers? It's Cheers. Frasier? Is that a person? God, we're old.
Shows going up.
God, we're old.
Ah.
Yeah. So, okay, we have surpassed the 30-minute mark, so we're going to cut it here for the recorded crowd, and then of course we'll continue to shoot the shit for just a little bit longer for those who want to stick around. So thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Hangout for May 1st of 2014.
Mayday!
Woo! We will see you next week with some awesome, amazing new stuff to chit-chat about. I am almost 100% sure, because news will continue to come out. But until then, thank you for tuning in. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, we'll see you next week.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.